Good morning. It is the OMU Podcast. I know some of you are in other parts of the world, but for us, it's an early start. And I'm saying good morning because it's relevant for us here on this time zone that we're at. We have crossover all the way to Australia once again because we are international like that. So we've crossed over to Australia. We're going to be speaking to one of the Muirites who are living out there. We've got quite a few Muirites living in the Australasia region. I mean, we've been in New Zealand. Now we're going back to Australia. We've been to England. We've been to Germany. So we've been to so many countries. And it's all thanks to everybody who still shares our or who still likes our content on Facebook so that it can reach Muirites from all over the world. So please, guys, do continue to like our content. Also, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, you can get us on our social media pages. That is on Facebook. That is also on LinkedIn and on Instagram. That's where you can get us all the information about the Old Murite Union, everything that has to do with reunions as well, and everything that has to do with Muir College. Just hop over there on the page. But today in Australia, we've got Mr. Jason Flanagan. Jason, how are you, my man?
Yes, sir.
Good.
I'm doing well, Ncedo. Nice to see you once again
Yeah.
after so many years.
Yeah. So, you mentioned that it's the king's birthday today. Which
The
king is
king's
this now?
birthday, King Charles. I know
Oh,
it's I asked one of my colleagues, I'm like, who's the king of Australia? And then the lady was like, King Charles, because we're obviously part of the Commonwealth. So
yeah, that's what I
I
was
was
about
like,
to
okay,
say.
I'm not complaining. A holiday
Yeah.
is a holiday.
I mean, I think Britain, they took over Australia, weren't they? One of the colonies, well,
That's
they
right.
call it
Yeah,
Commonwealth.
one of the
Commonwealth now.
colonizers, yeah. That's right. That's
To be
right.
politically correct, Commonwealth, guys.
That's right.
All right. So school is a very important part of our lives, right? But we sort of follow a certain path in our
Yeah.
lives. And for instance, you ended up in Australia, but just take me back about your journey. How did you get to Australia?
Okay, so it's a long journey, Ncedo, but yeah, to make it short and simple,
Mm-hmm.
um, I started off teaching in Port Elizabeth.
Okay.
I was there for I'd say about 3 years or so, 4 years, I'd say, and then I moved to Glenwood High School in
Mm.
KZN.
Kids then,
I
yeah.
was teaching there. Then from there, went to Durban High School. And then from there, I ended off at a primary school called Northlands Primary School. And the year after that, we decided to move to Vietnam.
Oh,
I was in Vietnam, teaching in Vietnam for 3 years, yeah, in the south of Vietnam. And yeah, so when we were there, we just thought, you know what, let's try and see if we can get these visas, which we
mm.
did, fortunately. And we ended up in Adelaide, which where we are teaching now in Adelaide. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
teaching has
that's the
become,
short version.
yeah. Yeah, I needed that short version. You know, I was speaking to Faiz. I'm always going to gossip. I'm always going to scan about people that I interview. I was speaking to Faiz.
All
It
right.
took like 10 minutes to go through his job. I was like, Bergie, I know you speak, brother, but this was a bit excessive.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, Faiz. So, so you've had a career in teaching. And I think that's
Yeah.
really relevant to my next question. So obviously, you do have some people that sort of inspire you to become an educator, especially an educator. My mother was an educator, and she'd always say that teaching is a calling, you know.
Yeah.
So, who sort of inspired you at school to become a teacher?
Okay. At school, if we're looking at teachers that had an influence in my life,
Yeah.
I would say the legend, Mr. Kluti. You know, I honestly, this guy was just something else. He was
Mm.
such an intriguing man. You know, the way he saw life was very different to most.
Mm.
And I was fortunate enough. Yes, he retired when I was in grade 9, I think. And I was fortunate enough to be in his under 15 cricket side.
Yeah.
And I won't lie to you, like the man taught me how to play cricket.
Yeah.
And from there, I mean, even in the English classes, I enjoyed it so much because of his sense of humor. And
Mm.
he would laugh, and then when we are laughing, and he'll be, hey, 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 keep quiet.
Hey, boys.
You're like, hey, bro, we're laughing with you here. But yeah, he was one of them. There were so many others that I really took a lot of life lessons from
Mm.
Mr. Francis as well. I just loved the way he prioritized discipline, and that still resonates with me today.
Yeah.
Discipline is the key to success. And
It's the truth.
and another thing, one thing I can say about Mr. Francis is fairness.
Mm.
This guy is the fairest guy I know, man. You do your time, and after that, we'll be friends again. You know, we don't hold any
Yeah.
grudges, and yeah. And as a teacher, that's what I do, and I tell my kids that as well.
Mm.
You want to have some coffee at the back or whatever. The coffee with Mr. Francis, yeah. And I tell my kids this, man. I'm like, you need to be thankful for it. Afterwards, you just say thank you, sir, and you walk out
Yeah.
smiling. Yeah.
So, very interestingly, do you guys also give coffee in Australia?
Oh, absolutely not. No, honestly,
Yeah, it's
maybe
more tea,
getting
more
from the
tea
coffee
there.
shop, but that's as far as it goes, man.
Yeah, no. Well, all the Murites will know what we're talking about. Not the younger guys. You're no longer having
Yeah, yeah,
coffee at the
yeah.
back. So
No,
you're
not at
very
all.
so you're very far away from home. And I'm sure there are certain
Yeah,
things that you do remember about home. But quite importantly, when we think of things, a lot of our senses get engaged, right? Whether it's smell, touch, or hearing something. What would you say if you had to just imagine Muir College right now, back in the day when you were in school? Um,
yeah.
what sort of smell or sound comes first?
Well, there's many. There's many. First of all, I would say obviously living in Utenhage, that
Yeah.
crisp early morning smell. When you overlooking when you're on the embankment and you're just
Yes.
overlooking the wet grass. You get that
Yes.
fresh morning smell. Yeah. So that number one. And I remember, I think it was Mr. Unos's class. It
Mm.
had like this, obviously the science class. It had like this chemical type of smell, man, like a soury smell. Yeah,
What was
I
it? Was it like
suppose those are.
ammonia or something?
I don't know what it
I know all
was,
these
but
chemicals now, ammonia
yeah,
and all of them. When I was in science, I
yeah,
was like always in the front of the class.
yeah,
I failed
yeah, yeah,
dismally.
yeah. Hey, my man, don't worry. We all messed around at school, and that's something I wish I could actually go back and, with this mindset that we have now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah, yeah.
put in the effort. But
Yeah.
yeah, it is what
It's
it is.
interesting. It's interesting what you're saying in terms of like the mindset, because I find that a lot of problems that um, I sort of struggled with in school from an academic point of
Yeah,
view, I
yeah,
it is so easy. So I'm like, how are all of these
exactly.
guys, smart
Yeah,
guys,
yeah, yeah,
where are they now? They probably should be presidents.
yeah, exactly, exactly. I
But
know
also, I
exactly
would
what you
mention
mean.
that
Yeah.
most of them are doing very well. I've spoken to quite a few of the guys, and they're doing very well. And so it does sort of show that the smarter you are, you do get ahead in life. Which then brings me to my next question, right? Um,
Okay.
when you look at the current matrix in school right now, what do you
Yeah.
think, or what do you wish you had known about life that you know right now back then?
I think, Ncedo, to be honest with you,
Mm,
I wouldn't want to change what I knew
okay.
because I think the matrix today know too much. You know, our
Yeah.
youth know too
Yeah.
much, exposed to everything in the world.
Mm.
Where looking back at my young self, we were innocent, man. We were
Yeah.
innocent.
Yeah.
Yes, we will test the boundaries here and there, but
Mm.
with innocence. You
Yeah.
know, we weren't exposed to the things that the kids have of today. Yes, I'm teaching for 12 years, so I've seen the generational change. And
Mm.
for me, I don't know personally if I would have been able to handle it. So I don't think, to be honest with you, from my side, I don't think I would change the way I used to see things. I'm sure you would say the same, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, man. I've with kids. I've got a daughter who's a prefect in
Okay.
at Rebec, and they're living in a different world.
Yeah,
Their lives are so different from ours. They've got access to information that we didn't have.
exactly.
They've got new
Yeah,
tools of communication. So
correct.
it's a scary world, but I think the best thing to do is to also educate them.
Yeah,
There are a few things that I wish I knew, like nothing to do with information, but in terms of like
uh,
just life in general, that
yeah,
things get hard, but they get easier as you grow older and you learn
yeah, yeah.
how to. And Muir College does teach you like hard work, really does pull you through. So
That's right.
it segues me to my next question now. So
Okay.
we know that Muir College, you spoke about it. Discipline is one of the key or the founding pillars of the school. And
Yeah.
what life lessons have you learned from school that still carry you today?
Well, being a male boy, I not to sound arrogant or
Yeah,
anything, but I think we were always different to people in other schools. But yeah, you do get your few actually brought up like that at home.
yeah,
But Mio alone has taken me through life in number one, I would say discipline, you know. And then number two, manners. Manners makes it a man,
yeah.
and that is something, that has is basically thrown out the door. It's not in existence anymore. And when you're at school, you don't really think about you like, why must I do this? Why must I
Mm,
stand up when I'm speaking to someone? Why must I open a door for a lady? Why do I need to address someone as sir or ma'am? You don't really think of it that time. But when you get older, it's actually ingrained in you and you just do it naturally.
mm, yeah.
But the responses I've gotten from that over the years, it's people look at you differently in a sense, like, hey, this guy's just on another level of respect, man,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and respect is probably one of the biggest things that will take you to wherever you want to go in life. If you
True.
are a respectful, humble person, you know people will respect that as well. To in order to get respect, you give respect. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know that's how I that's what I believe in, and I can solely say yes, my parents have taught me that as well. But it basically comes from your college, which is something that I still see today in the youngsters, which honestly warms my heart every time I hear guys addressing people like that.
Mm, mm. Okay. So, you know, you teach in a school right now, right? And I'm sure
Yeah,
there's a couple of boys that are in attendance in your school. But I think this is a very important question, and it's something that it needs to be addressed, especially to boy fathers.
yeah,
With our kids right now, we grew up in a different era. There were
yeah.
certain things that we were able to take, which kids today would not be able to take.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but very importantly, what do you think about? I'm just trying to compartmentalize this question properly.
Yeah.
So, how do you think the ideas of masculinity, brotherhood, or just being a man have changed since you were in school?
Well, I feel that it has changed quite a bit.
Mm.
And obviously, with everything changing in the world, um, you know, I don't want to touch on too many things, but things have
And I know
definitely changed.
where you were going.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I feel that the way we were brought up at school, I know people will disagree with it when I talk to people and say this is how it was. And for us, it was normal.
Yeah.
And for me, I still to this day, I still believe if anybody's in a environment like that, I feel it will only benefit you. It will only
Yes.
benefit you. But
Mm. Mm.
people of today don't might disagree with that. But yeah, look, in order to be a successful person in today's day and age, you need to know what it takes to be a man,
Mm.
And again, I don't want to speak too much on this because I don't want to offend anybody. And yeah, I
And I
suppose
think
that
you
is as much as I want to say.
and I think you've touched on a very important issue,
Yeah,
in terms of not wanting to offend, right? Because in the world, and also this podcast is not necessarily all of, we don't try to be too serious, but I feel like there's issues
yeah,
that do need the attention of men, right? Especially when we're speaking
I agree.
about issues that affect young boys. And I think
Yeah,
schools like Muir College play a big role in shaping us,
yeah,
to
yeah,
being custodians of discipline,
yeah,
custodians
yeah,
of what it means to be a man,
yeah,
because in a world with different colors and shapes of people,
yeah,
I feel like, for instance, in our days at school, we didn't understand the kids that were maybe a bit softer, or they
yeah,
were gay, or they didn't
yeah,
subscribe to any sexual orientation.
yeah,
And but what I can understand from where I'm sitting right now is that the idea of being a man, because we were with kids that were not necessarily in the mold that every other boy was, the rugby player, the
yeah,
cricket player,
yeah,
the sports superstar, and
yeah,
so on and so forth. Those
yeah,
kids later on become something else, something different. So I think it's
exactly.
important for us to
Yeah,
reiterate kindness and to
yeah,
reiterate tolerance, even though
yeah,
kids are different.
yeah,
Back in the days, bullying was bullying. Like we didn't care. We weren't as sensitive, you know. But
yeah,
I think the idea of masculinity right now in today's day and age is about acceptance. It's about tolerance, and I think kids, especially boys, should be at that level of thinking, and not be
yeah.
judgmental, and protect those that can't protect themselves. All right, so we're drawing a bit closer to the end, but before we get to the end of this conversation, there are a few questions, but I want to go to a quick fire round, right? So in this round, you've got 10 seconds to answer.
Don't expose me.
Now we are going into your personality in school. We want to know
Okay.
what you ate. What was your life about in high school? So let me just go to my questions. Technology
Okay.
sometimes. Okay, there we go. So, what is your favorite snack at the tuck shop?
Um, I don't think they make it anymore, but La Bamba beef, La Bamba
Bro,
beef,
I'm gonna say
and a
this
burger
again.
pie,
You
and a
probably the
burger
third
pie.
person in a row that's gone for La Bamba
Yeah.
beef. There's something that
La
was going
Bamba
on with La
beef.
Bamba beef
Oh,
during
yeah,
our time at school. I don't know. I never ate it because maybe
yeah.
I'm fancy, but you guys will
Yeah,
love
and a
Bamba
burger
beefing
pie. Can't forget about a
it.
burger pie.
And a burger. Yeah, yeah. Burger pie. That's more my vibes. The
Yeah.
most daring rule you ever bent or broke. And there were a lot. Don't even
Uh,
lie, man.
I'm thinking about look there. I'm just the first one that's coming to mind. I remember. I think it was Ross Haynes.
Yeah.
The two of us, yeah, we were in the tuck shop, the inside part of the tuck shop, and we were jumping on the tables there. And
Mm.
Mrs. Stuck, Mrs. Stuck wasn't too happy about that. And then we got called to Mr. Francis, and then Mr. Francis said, "Hey, how many sugars do you want in your coffee?"
Yeah.
So he said, "Yes, sir. Thank you. We appreciate it."
Yeah. A sport activity you wish you tried.
You know what? I'm a big fan of rugby. I
Yeah.
played hockey and cricket. And I remember Mr. Gous was always trying to encourage me to play
Mm.
rugby. But I know because I took my hockey quite seriously,
Yeah.
I know injuries are, it's quite common in rugby.
I
So
mean,
I didn't want to
bro,
get injured.
very.
You
I
played both.
think.
You played both.
I think. I think. And I'm gonna face everybody. I think I would have made like South African hockey if it
Yeah,
wasn't
I
for
agree.
one
I agree.
injury.
Okay.
We were playing against Zondelelo, I remember, and it was a ruck. So I'm trying to, obviously we're trying to defend. And then
Yeah.
Shalt Toy and his thin self
Yeah.
comes flying from the other side of the rack and lands on my
Yeah.
ankle a week
Oh,
for the final EP trials.
oh gosh.
Like literally, I was in the team because with EP, right? They pre-select, so they know their
Yeah,
team.
yeah, of course. Yeah,
So
of
I was
course.
already in
Yeah.
the. I was invited to the final trial. I skipped all the other phases and went. And I
Yeah.
was going to the final trials. And I remember it was at the Rhodes AstroTurf in Grahamstown,
Yeah.
and I was playing with an ankle brace, and my mobility was just. After that
Out of it.
trial, my ankle was this big, and I couldn't travel to the tournament. But anyway, back to our social to our five questions.
Yeah.
One song that instantly takes you back to high school.
One song.
Yeah, like a song that you can remember, like maybe Maroon 5 or
Hey, bro, what
Rugby
songs are out
Anthem,
then?
Avril Lavigne, Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah. I would say, um, brother, I don't
You,
know.
you
I
don't
love
know
music,
a
but
song that you
I'm
were
just
listening
thinking of a
to.
song, man.
What popular songs were there? You matriculated 2007,
Nine,
9.
nine, nine.
So around that
It was
time,
in 2009.
just before the World Cup.
Yeah. Oh man, to be honest with you,
You don't
no
remember?
song. I don't know. I can think of one song that was played at that time was that song of Evanescence. But trust me, it's not my flavor.
It is your
But
flavor. Bring me
it's
back to life.
yeah,
Change it.
yes, that song. I remember that song. But I know Bradley Nelson and
Yeah.
Goliath.
Yes.
So we used to drive with ex-Muir pupil as well with the Star Cabs.
Yes.
What's his
Yes.
name?
Yes.
Gulain Maiber. So
Mm.
we used to pump all of these old school tracks, man, like Black Box and what else? Uh,
I
like
remember
Evelyn
Goliath was
King,
our
those
scrum
type of
half.
musics. Yeah, that's him, yeah.
Yeah,
So we
yeah, yeah.
all used to travel together when I was still in primary school, man, and like that, like Evelyn King and all of the old school tracks, which I still listen to today. But
Nice.
yeah, that's the best I can give you, Ncedo.
Okay, it's fine. Three classmates you'd invite to a reunion dinner.
Okay, I would say Francisco Prince,
Okay.
um, Sufyan Lila,
Mm-hmm.
and
You're,
Kelvin Dorflin.
you're calling all of your faves now. So, guys, from 2009, if you're not mentioned here, you're not part of the crew, okay? Just want to say.
Ah,
Joking.
come on, bro. You said three. Ah,
It's a joke. All right. So, we've got two more questions for you. And
yeah,
I think, and then we can wrap it up, right? So,
right.
if you had to speak directly to the guys at grade 12 right now,
Yeah.
what message do you think you would leave them with?
Okay. I would say don't let anyone tell you that your dreams are too big.
Yeah.
Um, the only limit is the limit you accept, and you should start off messy, start off scared, but start now.
Mm.
That's the message I would give to the matrix of today.
Cool. Now, Muir College is over 200 years old
Yeah,
and the oldest school in the country, even though other schools would say different. Clearly,
yeah,
they are very late in their history. But
yeah. I always brag
um,
about that wherever I go. The old school in South Africa.
but what do you think in the 200 plus years of Muir College's existence? What do you think never changes or never changes in the next 200 years?
Oh, well, I would say always striving to be the best, being
Yeah.
second to none. Um, Manners makes it a man. I think academically, I always thought about this, Nedo, like most of our the Murites of today, they're pretty
Yeah.
successful.
They are.
They're pretty successful.
Yeah.
And even the naughtiest guy at school that actually
Myself.
failed all the
Yeah.
tests. And you look at them
Made it.
you look at them today and you're like, hey, these guys are doing well for themselves.
Uh,
And there must be some magic behind it, man.
mm,
And I think the magic is the school. The
yeah.
magic is definitely the school.
It's
You
definitely not the
won't get
water. It's
anything.
definitely not the water in Newtnake.
It's not the water. Yeah, it's a school. So yeah, if Muir College continues to produce the excellence that they have been producing for over 200 years,
Yeah.
I think that they are on the right path. They always were on the right path. And I think just going forward, carry on what you're doing.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for your time. I had to wake up very early. So I was sharp today, actually. Actually, guys, I think I was sharp today. I think we should do
Yeah.
more interviews. So if you are in the next a batch of interviews that we're doing is starting at 6 a.m., guys. I'm just joking. Jason, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the King's holiday.
Thanks,
King
brother.
Charles, happy birthday to you. Yeah, I don't have much to say about the royal family. But anyway,
Brother,
enjoy your
thank you for
time, man.
having me. I really appreciate it, man. It was nice to chat again. And yeah, I wish you all the best and take care.
Cheers, buddy.